Hello everybody. Welcome to Tech Pandit session. This is Dan. In today's video, I'm going to talk about Amazon RDS service. RDS stands for Relational Database Service. In this video, I also do a quick demo by launching a PostgresSql database instance using the AWS console and connect the database from local machine. So what is RDS? RDS is a managed relational database service in AWS. RDS makes it easy to set up, operate and scale a relational database in the cloud. It provides a very cost-efficient and resizable capacity while automating time-consuming administration tasks such as hardware provisioning, database setup, patching, and backups. So we have various database engines, relational database engines in the market. As of now, RDS supports 6 database engines. So we can create databases out of any of these 6 engines. So we can have from open source engines, like we can create MySQL database or PostgresSql database or MariaDB. From the big commercial databases, we can create Oracle database or Microsoft SQL Server, or we can have AWS native cloud engine, which is Amazon Aurora. So what are the benefits of having a database engine in RDS? So first of all, it's easy to administrate. So it's a managed service, so there is no infrastructure. So we don't need to maintain the infrastructure, we don't need to provision the infrastructure, and above all, we do not need to worry about the installation and maintenance of the database software. So it is all automated and AWS will take care of it. We can create the database just by having few clicks on the management console, or through command line interface, or using a cloud formation template, or simple through API calls through some programs. So it's very easy. It's highly scalable. So the database compute and storage resources, or the capacity, if we want to increase or decrease, it's very easy. We can do it by a few mouse clicks or through API calls, and most of the time without having any downtime. And in many of the in database engines, they're also supporting read replicas. So we can offload the read traffic from our primary database instance. As the RDS service runs on the highly reliable infrastructure of AWS, it's very available and durable. And if we use the multi AZDB instance feature, it's really very helpful and really increases the availability and durability of the instance. It's fast. So from the storage type, we can choose our own SSD backed storage options or our magnetic storage options, and based on that we'll get our speed of the data retrieval or storage. It's secure. So RDS service we can have in our own VPC. So we can have our own VPC, and within that we can keep the this service, and all the virtual private clouds rules will be applicable. So we can create our own private subnet and install the RDS install into that subnet, so that if we don't want to give it access to the public or to the internet. It's very cost effective. So it supports both on demand and reserved instances. So if we have like development servers or development databases where we need it like on time basis 9 to 5 or something like that in daytime, we can have our own on-demand instances, and we'll stop it when the usage is not required, and then again restart it in the morning. Or if it is a production instance, we can lower down our cost by purchasing reserved instances upfront, by paying upfront and have get a huge discount. So what would be the demo objective? So in the demo, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an RDS instance within a VPC, within the default VPC actually, and then I'm going to attach it to the security group, which will give access to that RDS instance to the internet. And then from my local laptop, I will access that RDS instance, and I will just queries. I will just run some basic queries to see that it's working. And when it is all done, we'll delete the instance. So all the services used in this demo are under AWS free tier eligibility. So if you are following me along, then and if you are having a free tier account, then probably you are not going to be getting a bill from AWS. It's all covered under the AWS free tier. Okay, then let's start the demo. So I'm on the AWS management console, connected to my nearest region. If you are following me, then please choose the nearest region in your account. And first thing we'll do, we'll go to EC2 console. So we'll go to EC2 console and we'll create a security group. We need to create this security group to give access to our instance from internet, so from the local laptop. So what I'll do, I'll give a name to this security group as demo security group, and description: allow RDS access publicly. I will choose the same VPC, which is my default VPC, and I will add an inbound rule. And what I will choose PostgresSql port. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to restrict the access to only to this port 5432. Usually this is the port where PostgresSql database instances are installed or the service is enabled. And what I'm going to do, source I am going to do anywhere. If you want to do, you can choose your IP and restrict it to your IP only. And just for the timing, I'm doing it, enabling it for the whole internet, and then creating the group. That's all. The group is created, and let's go to RDS. So I'll go to RDS console, and then I will just click on the create database. And here you can see that in create database, I can choose from any of these 6 engines. So for our case, I will choose PostgresSql. I can choose any of the version of the database installation. Let me choose 12.3, and then I will choose free tier. You can choose production, dev, or test, or anything. For the time being, I'm choosing free tier because this is eligible for free tier access, so it will not cost me anything. And then I will choose my own DB instance name, so Postgres. I will just give this name. Then the master username I will give, so this is the administrator user or database user, so I will give DB admin. And if you can provide, if you want to provide your own password, you can provide your own password, or you can choose auto generate password. I will just choose auto generate password, so it will create a random password and give it to me. I will choose the instance size and DB T2 micro. If you are creating a production or a bigger instances, you can select accordingly. As of now, as I have ticked free tier, it is only giving me DB T2 micro. But if you choose any other templates, then it will give you all the options available, and you can select from this. Then we have to choose the storage type. So I will choose storage SSD. For lesser cost or different usage, you can select like provisioned IOPS or magnetic as per your need. 20 GB of storage is sufficient for this demo, and I will untick auto storage scaling. So this thing is a auto scaling for the storage. So in case I create my database with like 20 gigabyte of storage, and let's say I'm inserting a huge data and it needs more storage, what will happen? The AWS auto scaling will increase the storage based on its assessment, and up to whatever limit will press provide here. But for this time being, I'm just disabling it. If you are using production database, you can enable multi availability zone feature. Connectivity, it's a default VPC I'm selecting, and then I will make it publicly available because I'm going to access this database from my local laptop. What I will choose, the VPC security group, the one we have created just now, I will select it. And this security group has port 5432 open to the internet, so database port is 45432, so there is no problem. Then I'll go to additional configuration and I have to provide a database name. So the first here, the name, the instance name that we have given, this instance name is the database installation or the database instance name. It is not the DB. Now this one here in database option, this is the database that we are going to create, that we are going to create. So let's give it a name, MyDB. So under one installation we can have multiple databases, or under one DB instance we can have multiple databases. That's the idea. So I'm creating my first DB, which is MyDB, and this is DB parameter group. I'm not changing it. So DB parameter group is like whatever database related parameters we want to have, we can create a database parameter group and provide all the parameters or the default parameters that we need, and the DB will inherit those parameter values. Ideally every database engine have their own DB parameter group, which is default parameter group. If you want to create your own and attach it here, you can do it. There is no problem, and you can update it later on also. And according to their nature of their nature, like whether it's a static parameter or dynamic parameter, it will be applied to the database. So like dynamic parameters are usually parameters which will be effective immediate after application, and static parameters are those which will be only applicable once we restart the database. Only thing to keep in mind that if you're changing anything in the parameter group and we are selecting and we are applying it immediately, then the database may restart, and there would be a connectivity loss because it is restarting the database. If we'll choose it later apply, so what will happen when we'll manually restart the database, those parameters will be applied. To keep in mind that we have a maintenance window also. AWS has its own maintenance window when it updates the patches and restart the DB, but that restart will not apply this parameter group installation. So it has to be manually restart. And then the backup and everything, we don't want to, let's not enable any backup, otherwise we can enable backup. We don't want to have any performance inside logs, no, nothing. And then maintenance, you can see the enable auto minor version upgrade. So this minor version changes or any patches will be applied by automatically. And if you want to select any maintenance window, you can select like every whatever day you want, and start time, end time you can select, but for the time being I'm not just saying no preference, and that's all. And in this page at the bottom, you can see estimated monthly cost. As we are using free tier, so there is no cost given, but if you select like production or any other instance type, then here you can see the estimated monthly cost in dollar value. So let's go and create the database. So yes, the database is in creation, and it is saying that it is in creating, so it will take some time. Here on the top you can see view credential details. If I'll click on this, I can see the password. So this is the random password of the master user is created. So we need to keep this password safe, because once the DB is created and then we'll close this console, we'll not be able to see the password again. But what we can do, we cannot regenerate the password, means we cannot get the same password again. But what we can do, we can reset the password. We can reset the password at any time and then get a new password. So what I will do, I'll stop the video and then I'll come back when the creation is done. Here we are. Here is the DB instance is created and the status is available. So that means we can log into the DB and access it and do our all database operations. So let's click on this. Once we click on this, this is the summary page. Here we have many information like CPU percentage, DB instance class, engine is PostgresSql, it's available. And we have connectivity and security tab, where we have the endpoint, so the URL to connect to the database and the port number. If we'll go to the configuration tab, we can see the other different information. At this point in time, our interest is on the database name, so which is MyDB, which we provided when we created the database. So let's do one thing. Let's connect this database from our laptop. You can use your own SQL client, whatever you have on your laptop or machine. In my case, I have DBeaver installed in my laptop. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to connect the database. So I'm creating a connection, PostgresSql connection. Next, I have to give the host name. So host name I'm copying from here, the database name from configuration, which is MyDB. Then username, we know DB admin, and then the password. So for this case, password, if we'll click here, you will get this details of the credentials. Copy this and keep it safely, because you're not going to get it again. If you lose the password, then you have to regenerate the password again. We'll paste the password and do test connection, and yes, we are connected. Let's finish this, and then yeah, we can see the database. MyDB database is connected. Tables, we don't have anything. Let's do one thing. We'll go to the SQL editor and let's create some table. So let's create a temporary employee table. We'll create an employee table, and yes, we have the employee table created. If we'll do select star from emp, let's query it. We have no data. Let's insert some data. So we'll just insert some data and execute, then select star from this. Yeah, the data is inserted. So that's what we're now able to connect to the DB and then do our all regular database operations. You can even connect to the DB using this connection details from any program or from any API or anything, and then do your operations. So that's pretty much how to connect. Just before we finish it, I want to show you one thing. That is, if we want to modify something after creating this database, what you can do, you can go and modify. You can click on that modify button, and then a page will appear, and here whatever you can modify, those things are available. So you can change your password. If you want to change your password, you can. If you forgot your password or you want to change your password, you can give a password and then click it. If you want to change your instance types, you can do it here. If you want to increase your storage, or you want to set your auto scaling, whatever you want to do, you can do it. And then after you want to change your backup timings and everything, you can do it. After that, when you click continue, then what will happen here, whatever changes you have done, a summary will appear here, and then you can choose whether you want to do this immediately or in the next scheduled maintenance window. So you can choose accordingly, and then click modify. As I have not changed anything, this modify DB instance button is gray. I can't do anything. So that's the way you can modify the database instance, and that's all. So what I'm going to do, once you have done with this, you can go and delete this database. So it will not be running anymore because I'm not going to use it anymore. So what you can do, you can delete it. And if you want to stop the DB instance and want to reboot or recreate tomorrow, or let's say you have timing, let's say 9 to 5, you want to 5 o'clock, you want to stop this DB instance again Monday, next day morning 9 o'clock you want to start it. So what you can do, you can stop it and then again you can restart it. So what will happen when the DB instance is stopped, you will only be paying for the storage, not for the compute. So that's how it gets calculated. I don't need to stop it because I don't need the instance anymore. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete it. So it is asking me whether you need a final snapshot. I don't need it. Just acknowledge that upon instant deletion, automated backups, file system snapshots, everything, all the recovery files and everything will no longer be available. I'll admit it and then I'll delete it. That's all. So it's now in deletion stage. That's all. So that's how you can create the database instance. You can connect it and then do a database operations in RDS, and then whenever you don't require, you can delete it or you can stop it and then start it again whenever you need it. So that's how RDS, it's very easy, very easy to maintain. There is no installation hazards, there is no infrastructure hazards. uh, yeah, so that's all. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching this video. I hope you like it. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you want more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel and motivate me to create more content. Thank you.